All right, let's talk about something that can completely change the game for you. We're going to explore a mindset that takes your work from just being another post online to a story people genuinely can't get enough of. It's all about shifting your perspective from creator to director.
Okay, let's just get right to it with a question that I think hits home for a lot of us. You're putting in the hours, you're making stuff, but it feels like you're just shouting into an empty room. What if I told you the problem isn't your content at all, but the mindset behind it?
And look, here's the bottom line. It's so simple, but it's everything. Your current results are a perfect mirror of your current mindset. So if you want new results, you can't just hustle harder, you actually have to think differently. You need a completely new framework.
And that leads us right into our first big idea. This is an inside game. It's so tempting to chase the latest tactics and strategies, but the real war for success, that's won or lost right between your ears.
Now, check this out, because this is where it gets really interesting. We're talking about a 90-10 split. 90% of your success comes down to personal development. It's about what you're thinking, what you're consuming every day, and what you choose to believe is possible. That other 10%? That's just the how-to stuff, the tactics.
And this is the core principle right here. Real growth isn't about just piling more stuff on top of a weak foundation. It's about having the courage to tear down your old beliefs and replace them with new, way more powerful information.
So, what is this new framework? Well, we call it the movie studio mindset. And this is the fundamental shift from just randomly posting stuff to intentionally directing your entire narrative.
Think about it for a second. A movie director doesn't just randomly point a camera and hope for the best, right? No way. They choose the characters, they craft the storyline, they set the mood for every single scene. They're intentional about every frame. That's the level of command we're aiming for. And here's how this actually breaks down in a practical way. Your pieces of content, those are now the episodes in your show. You and your audience, you're the characters, each playing a role. And your core message, the thing you stand for, that's the storyline that ties it all together.
Okay, so let's get practical. How do you start applying this? Well, once you decide you're the director, you have to get comfortable with the spotlight. You have to embrace being seen and choose what kind of character you're going to play.
The second you put your work out into the world, you are on stage. You are under a microscope. And that's not something to be afraid of. It's a reality you can actually use. See, being judged, whether it's positive or negative, it means you're being seen. And being seen is always the first step. And when you're in that spotlight, you have a really big choice to make. You can either be a fault finder, that's the person who just complains and points out what's wrong. Or you can be a problem solver, someone who sees those exact same faults but uses their platform to build valuable solutions. That second path, that's where all the influence is. Now here's a key thing to remember, and it's a trap a lot of people fall into. Not everyone is going to see the value in what you're offering. And you know what? That's totally fine. Your job isn't to convince everybody. It's to attract the people who already get it. That's your audience. So once you start attracting those right people, how do you keep them? Well, it leads right into our next point. You don't get them with one viral hit. You earn their trust by building a consistent story over time, just like a killer TV show. I want you to think about your favorite show. Episode 1 sets the scene. Episode 2 builds on the core themes. And by the third or fourth episode, you get the characters, you know what they're about, and you can almost predict their next move. That predictability isn't boring. It's what creates a real connection. It builds trust. But here is the secret sauce. This is the magic formula. You want them to predict your message, but you want them to stay curious about your delivery. They should always know what you stand for, but be excited to see how you're going to say it in your next episode.
And this just hammers home a really tough but critical rule of being visible. Look, getting negative comments can sting, for sure, but it means people are actually paying attention. The real enemy, the true sign that you're failing, is being completely invisible. Because no attention means absolutely no growth.
All right, you ready to go next level? Because this is where the master directors play. They don't just react to the scene that's happening right now, they see 3 scenes ahead. They understand the message behind the message. This is all about foresight. So let's look at a classic real-world example you see in the news all the time. On day 1, all the news is focused on official A. Then day 2, bam, out of nowhere the headline is that a totally different person, official B, just got fired. Then by day 3, the real story comes out explaining the actual reason. Most people are just reacting to the daily drama.
And that's the huge difference, isn't it?
Most people are just passengers, reacting to the headlines of the day. They see the firing and they're shocked. But winners, the directors, they learn to anticipate these moves. They see the patterns and they understand where the story is really going. This is how you can train your brain to see what's really going on. Start breaking down everything you see like this. First, look for the hook. That's the sensational headline designed to grab you. Then look for the narrative, the official story, the spin. And finally, you have to dig for the message, the true underlying reason for what's happening. If you practice this, you will start to see the world in a whole new way. And if we go back to that political story, the official was removed not for something they did, but for something they failed to do. And this points to a universal truth for any of us. Failing to meet expectations, failing to deliver, failing to be consistent, that inaction has massive consequences. So, let's bring this all home. This isn't about being a passive person just consuming information or being a random creator just throwing stuff out there. It's about taking the reins. It's about deciding to be the director of your own story.
So to recap the entire movie studio mindset, you got to think deeper than the surface level stuff. Start seeing the patterns that everybody else misses. Build that trust through consistency. Be bold enough to actually get noticed. And above all else, always deliver real value that solves problems.
So I'm going to leave you with this one question, and I want you to be really honest with yourself. Take a hard look at what you're doing right now. Are you truly directing your story with intention, or are you just another actor in the crowd, posting randomly and just hoping for the best? The choice, like always, is yours to make.
They keep telling you, stay motivated. Watch this. Listen to that. Get inspired. But what happens when the video ends? When the music fades? When nobody's clapping, watching, or waiting for you to win? What moves you then? I used to run on borrowed energy, quotes, speeches, people hyping me. Felt unstoppable for a moment, then I'd crash, like it was never in me. That's the problem with external fuel. It burn quick, don't last, don't rule. You dependent on a source outside, so when it disappears, so do you. I was chasing feelings, not building fire, waiting to feel ready instead of climbing higher. But readiness ain't a mood you catch, it's a discipline you wire. So I had to ask myself something different. If nobody ever told me keep going, would I answer that honestly? I realize purpose don't scream, it whispers. It ain't in the crowd, it's found in the mirror. It ain't an applause or validation checks. It's in what you do when there's nothing to flex. Motivation temporary, purpose permanent. One phase away, the other's inherent. You don't wake up feeling it every day, but purpose don't care how you feel anyway. It moves through you even when you're tired, even when life feel misaligned and wired. It's that quiet push you can't explain. Let's say do it again through the doubt and pain. So I stopped asking how do I feel and started asking what's real, what's mine to build, what's mine to create. That's when I found something stronger than fate. I don't need a reason, I am the reason. I am the reason. I don't need the feeling, I don't need the feeling. I move with meaning. No more waiting, no more waiting, no more chasing, no more chasing. Internal driver, that's what's leading. Yeah. Now I move like it's already decided. No hesitation, no need to be guided. I built a system inside of my soul that don't break down when I'm losing control. External noise don't shake my direction. I learned to operate without the connection. Not disconnected but self-sustained. Energy internal, never drained. I don't need hype, I don't need cheers. I done built this through blood, sweat, tears. Every rep carved into my frame. Now discipline calling me by name. This is what it look like when purpose drive. You ain't just working, you feel alive. Even in struggle there's something deeper. You not just moving, you moving with meaning. Listen close. Purpose don't shout, it pulls. It don't beg, it demands. And once you feel it, you can't go back. There's gonna be days you don't feel like it. Do it anyway. There's gonna be days you question everything. Keep going anyway. Because the ones who make it ain't the most motivated. They the most committed. To something deeper than motivation. That's what's leading. When the world go quiet, when the noise disappear, when nobody's watching, that's when you find out if you really got it, or if you was just borrowing it. Borrowing it.
You could be about to check out any minute now if you get too much of this. So it says here that more than this many hours of sleep is linked to early cutoff time, right? That's what scientists say. So it says the sweet spot. Scientists identify 6.4 to 7.8 hours per night as being ideal. Both shorter and longer sleep durations are linked to accelerated aging. So depending on your sleep habits, you could be causing an early demise for yourself. Now, I don't know what's perfect for you, but what I can say is this. The time that you spend awake is very valuable. So whatever you're doing while you're awake, that's contributing to, the enjoyment of your life. Do as much of that as possible. Sometimes, you might not want to wake up. Sometimes you might want to hop up out of bed just a little bit earlier after hearing this information.
I give you food for action, don't choke on the truth. This lesson I prepare was made just for you. Feast up, I'll keep serving till the pot run dry. Got enough cooking to feed the whole country, no lie. Too many flavors, I got what you like. Don't start beefing with me, you won't win this fight. If you come in peace, keep your teeth intact. I got a plan to get this cake, come grab a stack. Life could be sweet, if you listen you'll see. Food for action on a platter, served fresh by me. I'm serving knowledge on plates, got the recipe down. A blend of hustle and wisdom, that's my sound. I'm feeding the masses, no crumbs, full course. But if you bring nothing to the table, find the door. Stop acting like you got beef, it won't taste right. This flavor's reserved for those ready.
Okay, family, we are live. We are live. And once again, I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of the Hustlers 10-Minute a Day Challenge. Today is Strong 51, day 2, and we are right at 15 minutes into today's challenge. So let's start peeling back the curtain, right? And as we do that, You know what today is. So today is what we call Training Day Tuesday. So I'm not going to go too in depth into today's live. I just want to give you a little bit of, a little bit of that information that you won't find anywhere else. Some of what I consider to be the most valuable information you'll ever receive because nobody else is going to, share this part with you. And it's for multiple reasons. I've said this before. Some people don't want you to have the knowledge of certain things because they don't want you to be free from the chains that you know, they might be trying to inflict on you themselves. They know that you're already in bondage. You're stuck in certain situations where you're trying to get out of those situations and you need the real skills. You need the real information that's designed to help you be able to take care of yourself, to be self reliant. But instead, a lot of those individuals, they only want you to have the information that still keeps you on the hook, that makes you feel as though you still need them every step of the way in order for you to be successful. They won't give you the master key. They'll only give you keys to the front door and maybe the the door past the front door, that little lobby area. But then once when you're inside and there's all these different rooms that you really need to be in, they'll find a way to not give you access. Or they'll find a way to distort the information in a way so that you continuously look and look and look for a solution that they'll never provide. Now, on the other hand, some people don't give you the information because they simply don't have it themselves. They can't give you the answers. They don't know the answer themselves. So those type of people, they'll also try to keep you on the hook. They'll try to keep you for as long as possible, going around on a hamster wheel. Hopefully, for them, you'll continue to go on that hamster wheel. But for you, I hope that you'll open your eyes and you'll finally realize the answers, the real solutions, the things that you need to do in order to change your life forever. So, yesterday we started off on a new leg of the journey, right? I gave you guys somewhat of a blueprint, a direction of where we're headed. I gave you something to look forward to and I put it in another document. So as you look right here, we know that the Hustler's 10-minute a day challenge document is the most valuable document in all of online marketing if you use it properly. Now, the document is designed to give you a blueprint, is designed to help you build up consistency, is designed to help you create things that you personally own and control yourself. Not something that somebody else has crafted and allow you to get access to, but something that once when you create it, it's yours and you can actually use it for your own benefit. Either you can choose to give it away for free, or you can choose to find a way to monetize your creations, which is music. So if you use the document the right way and you go through the challenge and you do what's necessary, you will find a way and you will have something of your own so that you can create your own freedom. But besides this document right here, I want to take you guys back to the document that I had up yesterday. And we went over the Hustleverse core skill sets. Now, this right here, the Hustleverse core skill sets, I want to underline that because it's a very powerful, you know, picture right here. It's not much written, but in what you see here, it lays out everything that you need to know from a foundational standpoint. But today, I want to focus on just this one aspect right here. I want to focus on the content creation aspect. So content creation is something that you're going to have to, work on and develop and be good at. And you're going to have to, work on your consistency when it comes to content creation because it's something that you're going to have to do on a daily basis. So, what is content creation? So, content creation could be a simple social media post, or we should say let's say a text or picture post. So, it could be a text or picture post. It can be a video. It can be the combination of the two, but in a different way. So, besides being on social media, it can be on your own personal website. It could be a blog, or it can be something that, once again, if you use your creativity, it can be something like your own music slash video, right? So, once again, so content creation is going to be key to your success journey. And the one thing when it comes to content creation, since it's so many different types of content you can create, that's the fun part. You have to decide now what it is that you want to focus on. What is going to be your main line of communication? So within the Hustleverse, we choose to focus on music. We choose to focus on music and video. So as you see in the intro, we have the most powerful song in all of online marketing. One of the songs of the year, I might say. And it's featured on the album of the year, which, you know, is going to be the next album up. Matter of fact, I was about to put that one on the Hustleverse. Welcome to the Hustleverse Volume 1, which is the album of the year for 2026. But that song right there, Internal Driver, will be featured on the Volume 2 album, which will be another album of the year. It's hard to move on from Volume 1 because there's so many powerful songs on there, and I'm still creating content using those songs. And it's packed out. There's about 20 tracks on there, 21, but we have some interludes in there, as you would call it. Like back in the day, when somebody created an album, they would have some interludes in there. They would have some in-betweens that, broke up, the album, that gave you a time to like do a little breathing, right? That gave the album a little chance to breathe, and then it jumped right back into the action. So we have a couple of those on there. But it's a packed out album that, in my opinion, is the album of the year for 2026. So I choose to use music. I choose to use music and video in a powerful way to be able to speak to my target audience. The people that want to hear the sound of my voice, the people that want to be able to have a certain type of feeling. Now, you have to decide, how are you going to speak to your target audience? So today, I just want to share with you one of the most powerful tools that I've been able to get access to for over the last year. And it's allowed me to create music videos. It's allowed me to create pictures for content on social media, pictures for content in blogs, and once again, all types of videos. So it doesn't necessarily have to be music. It can be short advertisements, things that are similar to what you would see on commercials. Now, marketing, one of the most valuable assets you have is the thing that you see on TV or on your social media or on your streaming services on a daily basis. That's those advertisements. And most times, those advertisements could be anywhere from, let's say, 15 to 30 seconds long. And they've even started making advertisements that are a little bit shorter than 15 seconds. They're little snippets. It could be a flashing of a picture or something on the screen for a good 5 to 10 seconds. But it goes with the theme of whatever company that is doing the promotion. So when you see it flash up, or if you see a specific color, you recognize it and you know, hey, this has to be from that company. If you see a reddish color on a specific advertisement and you see a phone, you don't necessarily have to see the logo itself, but you know that that strong color red is related to Verizon. Now, if you see another commercial and the color is a little magenta, which is, a color that, most people don't really speak of, but this company has made it so popular. So if you see a phone and you see the color magenta, then you should automatically know this right here is T-Mobile. So there's various things that pop up that lead to you recognizing or being brand aware. So today, I just want to show you one of the things that I use on a daily basis to help me create what I call magnetic content, and something that you can use also. And I want you to be able to get access to this because it's a tool that's unlike any other AI tool out there. There's not too many out there, and I haven't found any other one that check the boxes completely like this one does. So most people, they look for an AI video creation tool and they find, various ones out there. And they all come with monthly subscriptions. So various pricing structures. You can usually have the entry level, you can have the pro version, and then some have what they would call like an enterprise version. But this one right here, this one has one main version, but it gives you truly unlimited. It eliminates credits. So you no longer have to deal with a credit-based AI tool when you decide to invest in this particular tool. And what that means, once again, is that if you want to make commercials, if you want to make advertisements, if you want to make music videos and have videos that's clipped up and put together, you can do that completely with this one tool. And if you have a music video, for example, that's 3 or 4 minutes long, and on average, you would say each clip is about, let's say, 5 seconds long, that's 20 clips per minute, right? So that could end up being about, for a 4 minute song, let's say 80 clips. Now imagine this. You have access to one of those, common AI tools, one of the most popular ones that you hear about, and you're paying a monthly subscription. How many clips can you actually make in that month without having to purchase more credits? Or if they don't have the ability to sell you more credits, then you have to wait to the next month for your credits to replenish, right? How many of those tools are out there? And how hard does that make it for you, being a content creator, being someone that needs to make consistent content, not just one piece of content, but multiple pieces of content a day? Now, if you go through coaching programs and, you have coaches and mentors and people online, random people you see, their advice is usually that you want to be posting, some anywhere from, let's say, 3 to 5 times a day. Now imagine that. What type of tool would you actually need in order to help you do that without actually bankrupting you first before you actually start to earn any income, in your online business. Now, most people online, they don't make a dime, no matter what they tell you. They might tell you, hey, join me in this opportunity, that opportunity. I can show you how to make money from home. And they're struggling along with 95% of the people that's in that particular opportunity. So don't believe the hype. Don't believe don't believe 95% of what these people online are saying. Now, the one thing about here in the Hustleverse is that we don't just talk about what's possible. We don't throw around, you know, money ideas or how you can get rich and how you can do this, that, and the third. We don't talk about those type of things because we understand that, once again, for the vast majority of people, that's not going to be the case. We talk about here real things. We talk about skills that you can actually use. Now, whether you want to use those skills to build a business, or if you want to use those skills to create something that's fun and creative and that might never make you a dime, but it'll actually allow you to create something that's, once again, your own, and that you can actually be proud of and say, hey, I put in the work and I actually made something of value for myself. So that's what we do here in the Hustleverse. So this tool right here, one of my favorite online tools, has allowed me to create things that I would have never been able to imagine before. Things that were just resting in my mind, concepts, ideas, things for fun purposes, just because I wanted to enjoy something. Maybe I saw an advertisement, maybe I saw a funny reel and I wanted to recreate it. Maybe I heard a news story and I wanted to be able to provide that education to my audience so that they can hear it in a different way. Or simply, maybe because I really was using the tool to create products, to market other products and services, to help build my online business. This right here is something that you can use to do it all, and it doesn't have a limit. So I want to share with you real quick one of the latest videos that I created with it, right? And since I never close this tool right here, it's always up because I'm always working with it. Let me just refresh it real quick. Probably have to sign back in because I leave it up all night. I jump back and forth into it. I go from one tab doing one thing and I do my work. I put in that work consistently, but then I always come back to this particular tool so I can create my next project. So this right here, the last thing that I created was based off of a story that I saw online. And I actually gave you some information on it in the intro. So when it talked about, you know, being aware of how much sleep you actually get. So me being a content creator, I can do multiple things. I'm not afraid to be on camera. And I believe that anybody who's promoting a product or service online, who's doing social media, you should be willing to show your face because that right there helps build the know, like, and trust. So don't completely rely on AI. Use it as a tool. Use it as a tool. Use it as often as you want or as you can, but make sure that you still input the human element in everything you do. Break it up. Show the people that you are a real person behind the AI content that you create. So in the beginning intro, I created that video myself, talking to you guys about this study that came out. And it's a good question to ask yourself. Are you getting enough sleep or are you getting too much sleep? Are you wasting away a lot of your time that you could be using to build an online business? Or are you wasting away a lot of time that you could be creating a leverage system that will allow you to buy back your time? so that you can spend it having more fun with your friends and family. So this version right here, I created using the AI, and I want to share it with you real quick.
Scientists warn too much sleep may increase health risks.
Scientists just released a study that caught my attention, and it has nothing to do with getting rich. They're saying that too much sleep may be just as dangerous as not getting enough. And it made me think about something far more dangerous than sleep. Not the opportunities we missed because we failed, the opportunities we quietly abandoned because we assumed there would always be another chance. Years disappear in silence, not with explosions, not with warnings, just little delays that feel harmless in the moment. Most dreams don't die because somebody told us no. They die because we convinced ourselves there was plenty of time. So while everyone is debating how much sleep is too much, I'm wondering something else. What part of your future have you been putting to sleep? If you're ready to stop postponing your potential and start building something that actually belongs to you, comment hustle and I will send you the link. All right, so that right there, that was inspired once again by an article that I saw, and it's very important. It's something that's valuable. It's valuable to the right person. As I always say, only the only thing that's valuable will be valuable to a person that can find value in the things that they see. Now, me personally, I can find value in so many different aspects of life, whereas a lot of other people, they might just look at something and they just can't understand what they saw, or they just overlook it as just being something common or average. But this right here, this simple, what, minute, 4 second long video could be a video that inspires someone to change their lives, that helps someone, add more years of life to themselves, because that was a real article. That was a science based, article. Scientists did say that. And they said what? On average, you should get between 6.4 and 7.8 hours of sleep. Those are some, even numbers, but, kind of weird. Most times we used to hear that you need to get 8 hours of sleep. So if we go off of that concept of 8 hours, that's outside of the range of what these scientists are saying. So when you think about it, we might have been having our lives shortened, unintentionally for decades with the knowledge or someone marketing to us that 8 hours a day is the perfect amount of sleep that you need, right? And a lot of people, they believed it. Some people, you know, they hear that, and without having any other, conversation behind it, they might interpret it as, okay, if 8 hours is good, then let me get one extra. Let me get 9 hours of sleep. So if I get 9 hours of sleep, then I should really be, doing good. Whereas, that definitely might not be the case. So this right here is a content creation tool that I want to share with you guys. And I don't want to just share it with you because it's a product that I just found, recently, and it looks good, it sounds good, and you know, I have no idea of how to use it because I've never used it before. No, this is a tool that I've been using for over the last year. Now, are there other tools out there? Yes, there are. Have I used other tools to help me create content? Yes, I do. And some of those tools, you know, they might, create things that might have a higher quality visually, but then on the other hand, it doesn't give you all of the features of this particular product. And quality is kind of like value. Quality is only quality depending on who sees it. Some people can just, sketch something in a pencil drawing and do flip book art. And that could be some of the most valuable content that a particular person has ever seen. That can be the thing that stimulates them and motivates them to move forward with whatever it is that that person is trying to get them to see. So I don't focus too much on, the concept of what somebody else considers to be high quality. Just like I don't focus too much on what someone else feels as though I should be doing personally, as far as the structuring of my live videos, the structuring of my content, because there's a million ways to do things. And out of those million ways to do things, there are people that are successful with doing those things. And just because you might be doing something now and it doesn't seem like it's yielding you the results right away, you have to think about everybody that's ever done anything. First person that comes to my mind is Thomas Edison, inventing the light bulb or inventing electricity, right? When they talk about, all of the trials that he had to go through 1,000 times before getting it right. And you haven't even tried possibly 100 different ways. 100 different ways might be something that's, far beyond your comprehension. You might only try 10 different ways and you say, hey, the whole thing doesn't work. Nothing works. But for the real people that want to stick and stay, the real, as we call them, the real hustlers, they're going to try until they reach that 1,000th time. And then maybe it might take 1,001 attempts in order for them to find the right way of doing things or to be able to reach their target audience. So continue to create, continue to use the tools that we have available. And if you guys want access to this specific tool, I want you to comment video in the comment section. And I'll send you an exclusive link so that you can get access to this amazing tool. Once again, you get lifetime access, no monthly fees, no monthly credit limits, and you can create just about anything you want. And also, I want to give you access to what I call my magnetic content creation training so that you can see my process and some of the things I do and how I go through making my content. And if that's not enough for you, I also want to give you access to a chat GPT that's specifically designed to help you create your storylines. So if you have an idea or a concept for a video and you just don't know how to formulate it, you just don't know how to go scene by scene and say, hey, I want this character to be walking, talking, doing this, that, the third, kind of like how you saw in the example video, right? So how you saw in the video that I created. If you don't have, that creative spark or that creative vision to be able to put these scenes together, right? As you see right here, all of these scenes that I created, then we have a GPT that you can use and you just give it the idea and it will write out the structuring for your video. And it will allow you to just simply copy it and paste it scene by scene into one of these amazing sections here. And the primary section that we use is the create video from prompt. So the first thing you want to do is when the GPT, it helps you outline and create the story. The first things it's going to do is give you the image prompt or the character prompt, right? It's going to say, hey, if you say, I want to create a story with a man and a woman going on a date, it's going to say actor one, man, and give a description. So what you're going to do is you're going to take that description paste it in here. And let me see, just for example purposes, I'm going to pull up the GPT on my end so that I can actually show you exactly what it'll do. So, for example, this one right here says Actor 1. Close-up portrait shot with highly detailed natural face features of a black man in his late 30s with deep brown skin. Okay? Now, you can prompt this, you can tweak the prompt however you want. If you want a different character, then you can absolutely do that. If you want to change it from being a regular, a human style, or a 3D, 2D, or a photorealistic, which photorealistic is something that I mainly use because the tool itself is specifically tuned to give you cinematic style videos or cinematic style pictures if you use that. But if you use human, then it'll give you more human style, you know, uh, looking characters. So I like to use cinematic because it helps with creating the depth in your pictures and in your videos. So I'm going to uncheck this box right here that says automatically enhance my image prompt because I think the prompt itself is pretty good, so we don't have to enhance it anymore. And then I'm just going to press create image. Now, before I do that, this one box right here is checked where it says share this to in the public gallery. So this right here is very powerful. You can choose to share this with the public within this amazing system, or you can uncheck this because maybe you might be creating something for a client and you want to keep your creations private. You don't want somebody else to use it, right? So we uncheck that and then we press create image. Now, what that also states is that if you can share it to a public gallery, that means that we have a public gallery available that you can actually see what type of work other people have created. And you can go there and get inspiration. So as you can see, we have our character. It looks similar to, the characters that you've seen in some of my other videos, right? So when it comes to consistency, it allows you to really tweak a prompt and create a consistent character. You can change his clothing or whatever you want him to be in. And if you want to save this character, you can just click on the save image. And if you want to use this character as a consistent character, and let's say, change up the image completely, say, hey, he's in a restaurant, you can click this button here that says consistent character. It'll put him right here in the consistent character section. And you can say, place the man in a restaurant, and it'll place the same man in the restaurant. So after you do that, then you can go through with the rest of, the process, shot by shot, scene by scene, and then you can have the videos narrated. You can have lip sync. You can turn off the sound, which right now, if you create a video, it's going to have it's going to have its own sound in the video. So if a person's walking, you will hear the footsteps. If a person, you want them to be talking, they will be talking. Or if you want background music, you can even prompt in the style of music that you want to have playing in the background. So that's how powerful this tool is. So with that, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but I just wanted to show you an example of what you can actually do just from the standpoint of having a GPT that will turn your idea into a complete story. And all you have to do is copy and paste. So I'll give you access to that GPT, and then I'll take it a step even farther. I'm going to give you access to something that I personally created. So, like I tell you guys, I don't just talk about this stuff. I'm actually someone that does what I talk about. I do the work. I put in the effort. I make it happen. So let me see if I have the direct link up, but it's a tool that I created personally, which will allow you to generate various characters, scenes, and help you with your prompting if you're a beginner and you want to be able to have something that helps you on your creation journey. And let's see if I have that link readily available. All right. So that one right there is called my Hustleverse Cinematic Director app. And this right here is something, once again, that I personally created. So you'll be able to have access to this. If you want to create a single image, if you want to create a cinematic video, or if you want to create multi-scene sequence, this will help you when it comes to the prompting. So I'm going to show you one example of this right here. So in what we call the character forge section, if we want to create a male or female or even an animal, we can have a fast generating prompt for us just by simply clicking on one of these buttons, and it will do this. It'll surprise me. That'll be a full random character, or you can drop down this tab and we can specify, hey, if it's a black man, white man, Hispanic, a woman, species, what type of animal, age, all of these different things that you can, customize for your character if you want to get in depth. Or once again, we can just click on female and it's going to get to work and it's going to start generating a prompt for this particular character. Now, once again, when you have the prompt generated for yourself, then you just copy it and you paste it into the specific, section. So you're going to go paste it once again into the image prompt section, and then you're going to have your character created for you. And let's see, sometimes depending on, your internet connection, it might take a little extra time to generate the prompt because it's going to give you some detailed information. And if it doesn't generate right away the first time, then just refresh. And let's say I'm just going to press this one right here. Going to press male. And then it'll generate that ultra realistic character prompt. And of course, every time you go live and do something, that's when things want to, break and not work. But in any event, once when it does, I'll check on the back end to see if there's anything that's restricting us or causing any errors when it comes to generating the prompt. So I'll check that out. But this right here is designed to give you fast results. And matter of fact, I think I might know what the problem is. And I'm going to go in the back end of my tool itself. And yes, so it looks like with the particular software that we use, it says we're aware of a technical issue affecting some services. Of course, it always have to happen while you're doing live, right? So when you want to show off something, sometimes things happen. But They probably doing some type of maintenance, and it says we're working to resolve it as quickly as possible. So, in the event, you'll get access to this amazing tool, which will allow you to create those scenes, and then you'll be able to create your magnetic content for your content creation. But with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's live. I hope you join us later on today, because once again, today is Training Day Tuesday. So let me pull up, our foundational system that gives us access to the basis of what we need in order to be successful. So once when you create your content, the next step for you is to be able to promote your content, to be able to get traffic, and to be able to have something that you can actually monetize. So if it's your own personal music, then it's something that you own 100%, right? But you still need to know how to market it. How do you actually promote it? How do you actually sell it? How do you, attract the audience that is looking for what you have? So today we have a live training hosted by one of my business partners, Mr. Wayne Crow, and also one of our amazing coaches, Beverly. So we get to be on masterminds often. I was just on a mastermind with Beverly yesterday. And so this one right here, this live training today is going to talk about Student Success Week, Reels Revolution with Bev. So Reels Revolution, just to give you some insight, Reels. So you should know that term by now if you're a content creator. So Reels, or if you're on YouTube, that would be kind of like shorts. So the shorts videos, but on Facebook and Instagram, those Reels are like those 1 minute to 1.5 minute shorts that you post. So this right here says, Bev shows the simple Reels formula she figured out after years of chasing the wrong things. No fancy editing, no big follower count, just a method that actually puts people in. So this right here is perfect timing, because we're talking about content creation, right? So what's better to learn about today than more content creation from someone that has used the content to build a big following on social media and to build a profitable business, right? So now that you have the basis, the foundational things that you need, you know what tools we have available in order to create the content. Now you should attend the training that's at 2 p.m. EST time today, so that you can get the other pieces of the puzzle to help you on your journey. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's live. And as usual, we're going to close out the same way we always do. And I hope to see you guys in the next live. I'm going to fade to the back. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Woke up to silence, dreams still heavy. Phone screen dry, but my vision stays steady. Mama said, baby, that job ain't your lane. But I clocked in anyway, chasing someone else's gain. That got me dancing with denial at night. Scrolling for hope, but it's hidden from sight. 10 minutes a day, sounded small at first. But in silence, even whispers can't quench a thirst. Notebook in hand, wrote my future in ink. Mapped out my mission before I started to sink. Every post was a prayer, every share had weight. I wasn't selling a link, I was shifting fate. I found my rhythm in the quietest place, where hustle meant healing and grind meant grace. From the corner of doubt, I carved my space. Legacy ain't loud, but it wins the race. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. People laugh, said she doing too much. To my PayPal ping, then they changed up the touch. No big brand, no six-figure crew, just a mic, some lyrics, and a dream that grew. Tired of waiting for the gatekeeper's call, so I built my own stage, held my own hall. Suno on deck, that's the beat in my chest. GPT spitting like I'm born to impress. Said I'd never make it, cool, noted. But now my bars turn pain into coated. From broken to branded, I ain't asked for fame, I asked for freedom and I claim my name now. Hustle berry on loop like healing chance, for the girls who grew up with limited chance. This is more than a challenge, it's breaking the chain. Cause 10 minutes a day rewired my brain. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. Now my daughter sees me different, eyes full of fire. She said, Ma, your words lift me higher. This ain't a hustle, this a heart-led path, where math meets message and message meets math. Community over clicks, value over hype. I ain't here to trend, I'm here to type blueprints for the ones still stuck in fear. Let them borrow my belief till their purpose clear. Haters still quiet, but I'm loud with grace. Posting in peace, not a mask on my face. Every bar I drop, every beat I write, I'm freeing the